Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time for Andor Season 2, Episode 7, Messenger. It's also time to start another 3-episode arc. It's also time to get 1 year closer to the Battle of Yavin. Friends, let's get into it. Before we get started though, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider sticking with us here on YouTube memberships. It gives you all of our episodes about a day early, plus any bonus episodes we come up with. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time for Andor Season 2, Episode 7, Messenger. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go!
Revolution is not for the same.
Revolution is not for the same.
You're here. You're not with Luthen, you're here. You're right here, and you're ready to fight.
This is how he conscripts people. I mean, he's to be a leader and somebody that can get people to fight to the death. You got to be like Saul. Whew. Not a lot of brightness, not a lot of joy and hope. Andor. It's a descent into darkness and madness. Whew. And so wonderfully told. Oh my God. What's our lead-in score for the title card reveal? We've had everything from captured messages to festive party music to the more dramatic. And this is, yeah, I think this is the normal one. Most frequent one, not the normal one. 1 year later. 2 years before the Battle of Yavin. Ooh, look at this. Look at that shot. Take the boots, follow him up. Nope. Just traveling with him. Oh, it's Will. Okay. All right. You can see a full-fledged member of Saw's cabal or, merry men.
Take your shirt off. And don't tell me it's better.
I always like how we're picking up the story like right in the, there's been crap going on and this is just the most momentous part of it.
Easy.
That was easy.
Pick another spot.
Just relax.
Pick another spot.
Hey,
what's up? Will blocked.
I was about to send a search party. Hey.
When did you get back?
Oh, I love that cup in the back of the head.
Back from where?
You're in there?
This is here. I'm asking you where you were.
Just got in.
He doesn't want to tell you where he's been. Maybe you're not cleared for that, Cassian, as you said things are getting organized.
He's been trying to reach you.
Ready for what?
What do you want, Will? You want to fight? Or you want to win?
Going it alone doesn't cut it anymore.
Well, maybe you should tell him yourself.
Maybe you should tell us where you've been.
He's not going to do that. You wouldn't have done it either working for Luthen.
There was a firebombing last night at the naval terminal in Palmo. You can see behind me vapor and thermal smoke still rising from the site.
You can feel this city, which was already...
Cyril, you look a little manic. You look like you're letting yourself go a little bit. Your normal American Psycho look is slightly disheveled.
She's there in Gorman. In the open, I've seen her. She's there now, and she's there waiting to be killed. And I know you're gonna say it's for revenge, but it's not. She's been coming for Luthen since Ferrix. She's been coming after him, and you, and all of us, and everyone we know.
Yeah, she's never let it go.
You act like Luthen's the enemy.
That would be easier.
What a difference a year makes.
She's a monster.
Oh, you don't have to tell Bix that.
You won't have a better chance.
We don't know how she's doing either. She seems okay, better than when we left her, but don't know. Great cut.
There is apparently no suitable replacement or synthetic alternative for the Gorman substrate material.
You're going to crack the world.
Krennic's had the lab in Edu working overtime all year. I don't know the science, but it's bad luck, Gorman.
When?
The fleet will be fully positioned in 48 hours.
Wow.
Captain Kaido is arriving today.
He's here. He's outside my office. Who is he?
He is a crisis specialist.
Oh, he's like Mr. Wolf.
Captain Kaido knows the objective. He will answer to you operationally. The tactical details, however, will be at his discretion.
The insurgents have weapons at this point.
We're counting on it.
They need the story.
There's evidence of outside agitators.
You serious? That's what I came here for. That is what I've been trying to do since I got here. That is what you told me you wanted, and now there's evidence I have to beg for?
He doesn't know they're going to crack the planet.
Good things are waiting for us. We'll be out of here soon. We'll be back in Coruscant. We'll be together. We'll be rewarded.
You destroyed a world. Oh, wow. You gotta be real careful here, Cyril. I don't know if anybody outside of Dedra and her boss know what you're doing or what you've done. Whew.
Lovely out. I'm sure we'll walk.
It's just they're asking for schedules this week. Parking and movement.
Really?
Senate security.
Oh, ridiculous. I'll speak to them. Thank you. I'm requesting a new driver.
Don't. They might send someone smart.
They might send someone smart. Oh, I love it. I don't think I have her assistant's name.
Blasts, perhaps as many as 3, rising over the Imperial Naval Terminal.
Flooding the airwaves with Gorman resistance.
Fully explained, and the terrorists have been brought to justice.
Brought to justice.
Senator Mothma. Apologies, I've been awaiting your arrival.
It's too late now, bro.
I came here to thank you, Mon. Your constant courage. The brave face you put to the world. I've done a poor job letting you know how much I admire your grace. Protect yourself.
Yeah, we're running out of runway here. I got chills. Jesus, the noose is tightening.
There's the
kid from the hotel. You know, it's pretty amazing that they kept Yavin secret for as long as they did. Because we're looking for at least 2 years, to over 2 years. I wonder if we'll start seeing any of the major players. You know what I mean? Like, do we see like an Akbar? You know? And to be very fair, I'm not even sure Akbar, when he rejoins the Resistance, about Leia.
If I was in pain, I'd try to do everything I could to fix it. You just run around pretending like nothing's wrong and everyone knows it's not true. What's the risk?
Is she legit?
May I?
Yeah, I'd like to see this too. I mean, force healing is an application of force skills, which means she has to be trained somehow, and she certainly seems old enough to have been in the temple at some point.
They come no matter what. Sometimes it even works, but this...
Sometimes it even works.
You saw something.
Why do you keep pushing?
Are you so upset?
I asked you not to do this.
I sense the weight of things. Things I can't see. But some, very few. Your pilot. They're gathering as they go. He's a messenger. There's some place he needs to be. Have you known him long?
I don't remember not knowing him.
Maybe you're the place he needs to be.
Fantastic scene. This show is so well written, so well acted, beat by beat by beat. Across all these storylines. Jeez, oh Pete, it's so amazing.
My people are convinced you're being coordinated by outside agitators. If I had something to offer, if we could lay this off on outsiders, then...
I'm fascinated with Cyril. We've talked about it before. How he ultimately ends up as far as, like, does he go the road? I always thought that he would go get too embedded. And when he first, when what's her name, Anya, or the girl that was just on there, he had like a moment. It looked like a reactionary shot where he was like intrigued by her. Let's just put it like that. Very interested to see how this plays out.
She asked me who you were. I said you were a pilot.
Don't tell people what I do.
Well, she didn't, because you're not just a pilot.
But it happened, and I could sense it, and I'm not afraid to say that. I felt it before, Cass. She called you a messenger.
Hmm. The weight of this life, so well done. Look at this. Look at this.
Clear! Those who enjoy the security of Yavin must proclaim their loyalties.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
You know where I stand. The day I need permission to come and go, I'm gone.
That day is near.
Then you know what the result's going to be. Look at them patching that X-Wing together. Did you see that? There's a spare parts on the side. That's really cool.
Fall out! Quick time!
Speeder bite.
Tighten up! Look lively!
I mean, I've said it too much, but it can never be said enough. This world is alive. It has been lived in. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Get these men shaped up and ready for presentation.
There's not a man amongst them, sir, but I'll do what I can.
Am I going to have a problem with you?
No, tough guy. You're good.
All right, listen in!
He's got a number of units coming in today.
Attention! Left turn!
They look like children.
Quick!
Are they like citizens of Gorman that have been conscripted? Like, are they trying to even like strip like the youth of Gorman before the place gets cracked?
What are you doing? What? Look where you're going.
You said come in low, right?
Cassian doesn't seem very concerned. Woo!
You okay?
Yeah.
He is not. What are you concerned about here, Will?
No more smuggling.
I needed a break.
It's good to hear you say that.
You know, with all of these different like people that they're folding in, it's amazing that Yavin wasn't uncovered.
We're not a bunch of maniacs running around Aldani. We're building a real army. Cassian is a leader now.
Make him see that.
He'll be there when you need him.
Listen to this music. Oh, I love it. Look at this. Unreal.
I have a room at the front facing the plaza.
Perfect.
Most guests don't say that anymore.
Hmm.
We turn over our guest list each afternoon.
Good to know.
You'll have to carry your own bag this time. You know the way.
Man, oh man. Is he gonna try to shoot her from here? It seems super dangerous. Or is he gonna do it now? Will, your love life gets a lot of other people in trouble. We need to, lest we forget our first 3-episode arc.
Is this the weather center?
Clear skies tonight.
We'll be updating the forecast at first light.
I'll make sure to listen.
So tense. Jesus, man. This has got to be a gun, right? Yep. Now, what type of rifle are you going to use that doesn't get you killed, man? You can hear him talking. Stormtroopers are posted somewhere above you. Look at that. That's going to make it even trickier, man. I'll be very honest, man. I'm at this point, I'm not sure Dedra is worth the trade. Like, you could get Dedra, but it's going to cost you Cassian. I'm not sure that's a trade that I would broker. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. All right, everybody, we just finished Andor Season 2, Episode 7, Messenger, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished Messenger, the 7th episode of the second and final season of Andor. You know what? I was thinking about like this format. We've talked about it before, like these 3 episodes get you back into the world a year removed, a year closer to the beginning, really, of the rebellion and the war. And I'm not sure which kind of segment of each arc I like the most. Like, do I like the setup that we had in 1 and 4 and now 7? Do I like the build-up, that we had in 2 and 5, and I'm assuming going to have an 8? It's very, very interesting because they're so kind of different, really, but also incredibly intriguing. It's something else. It's a really beautiful storyboarding because we have so many avenues to explore, and we have characters embedded in each of those kind of avenues. Like, I think of Mon Mothma, who's in like the elite, the politician realm. Obviously Cassian and Bix at like the rebellion level, but then we have like bridging the two. We have Luthen and his earlier operatives, I guess. I'm not sure where we stand now with that. He seems to be being phased out, which is an interesting kind of twist I didn't expect in this. I can see, though, that like whenever these organizations become more organized, like they were saying, everybody's getting more organized. We got to check in now. Everything's becoming more official. It seems like a real place. We have people that are, the thing that, like I said, and I said it during the reaction, the thing that blows my mind, we have all of these people, like, I'm talking about it, new people coming in every day. How they didn't slip in, like the Imperials slip in somebody, hey, go out there and find out if the rebellion or the resistance is like, mobilizing anywhere. The only thing I can think of is that they just don't think that's happening yet. You know what I mean? Like, they think that, there's Luthen, who they've got out there kind of working, but nothing's organized, nothing's put together. Nothing is like beyond system. Each system might have like a bit of a Gors have Gorman resistance and things like that. We have Saw out there like doing hit and run, like, just kind of piracy type of tactics, it looks like. Those things I would assume in the arrogance that is the Empire, and it's not really arrogance if it's true, because they think, as it stands, none of these groups or little resistance cells, if we really paid attention to them and turned our full attention, they're gone. They're eradicated in, a very short period of time. So that's the only thing that I can think of that they were able to kind of like sneak in Yavin and move. Because we know, just because of the events of Star Wars A New Hope, and Rogue One, if you've seen that Yavin is in play through the culmination of the construction of the Death Star, the destruction of Alderaan. Yavin remains secreted, remains, kept away. And it's incredible to me that they were able to do that. So I'm interested to see if they kind of flesh that out a little bit and be like, hey, yeah, you're right. They just don't even care too much about the resistance at this point. They don't think enough of them. Or is this something that literally slipped under their nose? I'm not sure which one I really would prefer more. But back to my original thought with like the resistance and the rebellion, kind of the formation and like the growth and like, the infrastructure being built on Yavin. I can see where Luthen would ruffle feathers because, he's been a one-man operation in his own mind, for so long. He's been doing all of these things. As soon, and that would be a very quick soon, I would think, that this group and Luthen would butt heads about some type of objective or, some type of course of action. He's going to separate him. He's not going to be at Yavin, even though he could have easily been one of the leaders at Yavin, you would think. He still has all of these things going on. But the thing is with him now, we know that so many of his operatives are, they're gone. They're independent. They're working. I mean, Will seems to still be working with Luthen. Presumably, as he's trying to like reach out to Cassian, for Luthen. I don't know. There's a lot going on with that, but fascinating, right? This is like the natural progression of how a person that's acting, without any type of oversight is now thrust into some type of like hierarchy and command structure. Luthen's not going to exist in that world. He needs to be able to pivot and make moves that he thinks are the best. He's not ready to sit down in committee and see how the committee feels about these things. He is a committee of one. He is the owner, operator, and only employee of Luthen Spy Industries. So it's very interesting, and I like it quite a bit. The other thing that intrigues me too is Cyril. We speculated whenever we watched Cyril get embedded in Gorman, that would he be? Is he possibly could be subject to a flip? Could he hear too much about the resistance and figure, maybe I'm on the wrong side? I'm not saying that Cyril is a easily kind of molded or guided or led person. He's not. He's gone against the grain quite a bit, much to his own detriment. So it's not something that's beyond the personality scope of that character for him to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like how this is breaking down. He gets too close to people. I think that I always remind myself about Cyril is Cyril has been in a like non-affection life. His mother is awful. Dedra it looks like she's giving him what she can give him, but that's not really like a lot, as far as like an emotional stake or connection. If he starts to feel those types of things, like I'm not talking necessarily about romantic feelings, those would work too, more friendship or like family, type of feelings for the resistance people. They care for him and he cares for them. That's what could turn him, I think. That's what could turn Cyril, at the very least, into a double agent, somebody that's like giving, which he seems to be, giving them information that is also, he's sharing with the Empire, but also with the Resistance. Very fascinating character, a journey that I think is going to end abruptly because Cyril doesn't have protections. If Cyril is even viewed by just a rank and file officer, like that officer with the scar that we saw, if he's identified as somebody that might be an agitator or a sympathizer or very, or a traitor, he could be killed like that before Dedra would have a chance to be like, no, he's working with us. Or he's deep undercover, or anybody could stick up for him. He could be killed like in almost like a throwaway scene, like boom, or Cyril could make it. And oh my God, what I would absolutely shit if like Cyril is like on base at Yavin, like somehow he makes it all the way, like he goes from this end of the spectrum all the way down to like he's on planet at Yavin. That'd be crazy to me. But again, it's a wild speculation, and I certainly don't think that level of anything's gonna happen, even though I think it would be just rad to show that, being able to follow his journey as more of a patriot. I mean, this was a guy who was absolutely a part of like what the Empire kind of initially started. I mean, he was in it, man. He wanted to be, he wanted to be noticed. He wanted to be part of this machine. And to see that kind of threading and fraying, and it's interesting, it's really cool. And I'll end with this, friends. I'm really interested, and I don't know if I want this or I don't, because sometimes with these Star Wars properties, and this is not a bash on any of them, I've enjoyed quite a few of them, they seem to want to be able to like put in like original series or canonical cameos, just for the sake of being like, oh my God, there's, Admiral Akbar, who I brought up. But at the same time, this is one of the very few properties where I think they would do it right, where it wouldn't just be like, somebody passing along the street and be like, oh, there's Greedo or, some shit. This would be a really interesting time to have some callbacks to some of these people, especially people that were in Rogue One, but even if you wanted to go with an Akbar, and that's the thing I don't know about the timeline of Star Wars, Akbar wasn't present in New Hope. Not that we saw anyway. And so, I'm not sure when they joined, the calamari joined the rebellion. I mean, I know that their navy and everything is awesome, and they've got their shipyards and things like that were eventually, I'm not sure if they were with the Empire at one point and then switched, or they were tried to be folded into. Something happened that caused the separation between calamari and the Empire, and I'm not sure what that chain of events is. But anyway, I mean, that's just neither here nor there. Leia would be a hell of a cool one, and the only reason why I say that is because, we've had in Rogue One, which leads me to my very last statement. Do we see Vader in this one? I'm not sure where he would fit into this other than just being like somewhere where Mon Mothma is. But boy, oh boy, it might be interesting to see old Anakin pop up just for that's the cameo that I would absolutely fanboy over and be like, that's good. That's good for me. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time we go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, stick with us here on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes about a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now we're leaving Andor, unfortunately, for right now. So where should we say goodbye from in this episode? Because that's our part of our reward for being the audience, the Greek chorus. We get to go back into the episode and say goodbye. Well, friends, I was thinking about this one, and I thought, this is the beginning of an arc, and I really, really dug the fact that we're already at Yavin, and I really, really dug, like, the home of Bix and Cassian. So I think we say goodbye from there, friends. Maybe just a day earlier than what we actually rejoined them. Maybe we're sharing some tea or coffee with Bix and Cassian, just sitting around talking about things that have nothing to do with the Empire, the Rebellion, or galactic conflict. There'll be enough time for those conversations soon. Friends, until we have a chance to re-engage with this conversation, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.